Welcome to It Was Never You, where we talk about narcissism, complex PTSD, and recovery. So, covert narcissist. Okay, so what exactly is this thing, and how do we figure out if we're in a relationship with one? So, the overt is the loud, gregarious, charismatic, can get people's attention. You hear them coming from a mile away. You see them coming. They have larger than life sense of grandiosity. The covert narcissist is the more difficult one to pin, to figure out exactly are they a narcissist, because oftentimes to the world around you they have this angelic type of, people have pinned them as, no, they're so, like, how could you ever think that they're so kind, but they have all the underpinnings of a overt narcissist. So they have this like quiet smugness about them, and they still view themselves as better than everybody else, but not everybody gets to see it. It's the people that are in the deeper, more closer connected relationships that see the defensiveness and the anger. The anger doesn't come out with everybody. It's not a come one come all type of anger. They're hypersensitive to criticism, but with people in the open, in the public, they may like kind of laugh it off, but with their closer relationships, they get very defensive and very angry for being called, when their behavior is called out. So it's, you are left confused, because to other people, they don't show this side of themselves, but you see what you see, their anger and their hypersensitivity to any type of criticism, lack of self-reflection. They can appear to the outside world to have massive amounts of self-reflection and really go on these jaunts of crusades of, I am going to save the world from treachery. But behind closed doors, once the door is shut, they are the treacherous ones in a relationship with you. So if you want to talk about that to them, about an issue that you have in your relationship, they will just quickly turn it around on you and make you out to be the bad guy. But with their friends or with a more superficial relationship, they can give the appearance that they're willing to listen to criticism and not. And another thing, what that leads me to believe, is they know exactly when to turn it off and to turn it on. So they do have the ability to choose to not treat you in this fashion, but they don't want to choose that, because for them it's about power and control. They're more subtle. And they often seem shy and introverted, but they have all the same markers as a narcissist. They feel as if they've been misunderstood their whole lives, that nobody gets them, that they are kind of this perfection on this earth, and nobody understands, and they don't understand why people don't understand them. And that's why I say the covert is the most dangerous, is because they wear a velvet glove while they're punching you in the face with their verbal assaults. They're wearing a velvet glove, and nobody believes you. Nobody will see what you see. In the moment, nobody will see what you see. But if you allow people to get closer, they will see the same thing that you have seen in this person. They use a velvet glove. Their mysteriousness shrouds their treachery. And they're walking constantly this fine line. It's like a dance. They do a dance. They are chameleons of sorts. They're able to turn this thing on and off. They're quiet. They're sometimes there for people when they need them. They're able to give the best advice to other people, but to you, they're just completely terrible. And it leads to this cognitive dissonance, this confusion. Well, if they're so kind to everybody else, but they're so terrible to me, well, what conclusion am I meant to draw? I'm meant to draw the conclusion that I am the one that is the problem. This is why it is so hard to figure out what exactly you are dealing with and what kind of person this is, because it must be me. If they're so wonderful to everybody else, I must be the one with the problem. But they have the same lack of empathy. So to another one is lack of empathy. So to other people, they may be able to, I said this before, to help them in a certain situation. Say if the person is grieving, but for you, if you have an issue, they just brush it off and say, just deal with it. Or why are you making such a big issue out of it? They lack that in their personal relationship, because their relationships are surface. So as we get older, I do believe our personalities, we are not able to hide in our close relationships who we actually are. And it takes a shorter amount of time to hide that. And oftentimes they will say that their past relationships, all the people that they've been in a relationship with were terrible to them, and they won't allow you to meet their family or their friends. They'll keep a distance from you and their friends, is because they don't want anybody to have all the information so they can draw their own conclusions. They are very adept at giving you pieces of the puzzle. It's like a need-to-know basis to hide the true self, the true identity. They are very adept at hiding it. And everybody gets a different version of who they are because they have to keep that mask up. And they don't want everybody to know everything about them or to see exactly who they are, because then people will get together and they will figure it out. So it's divide and conquer. If everybody is divided and everybody's looking to this person to be their savior, nobody's going to sit and talk to each other. You're not going to reach out to their family and find out what the real issue is. And you're not allowed to get to know their family, so they can't see the truth about you. They will go talk about you to their family, and they will talk about their family to you. So nobody sits and talks to each other. Covert is like, if you have like a covert operation in the military, it's done in darkness. It's done under, it's done in a manner so people don't see it happening. It's the same thing that these narcissists do, and they're very difficult to spot because they throw you off kilter and it becomes so confusing. And they do have the ability to turn it off and on whenever needed. So you are just a confused human being, not understanding what exactly is happening. And it's manipulation, and it's gaslighting, and it's projection, and it is all the tools of manipulation that they use, and they are able to use, and they will continue to use, because they have to keep that mask up.